Welcome to the Sewing Report. I'm Jen. We are live from the sewing room for some more late night sewing. I've been live all day and StreamYard, my streaming software, unexpectedly crashed on me. So that is why the last stream ended quite abruptly before I was actually done. So anyways, if you're watching late night, welcome. I know we had some folks in here earlier. Just a quick plug to this stream sponsor, the Sewing Report Etsy shop for all of your fabric and sewing supplies needs. So this is the sponsor. You can find fabric, you can find sewing supplies. I've got some fabric bundles on sale currently. So lots of stuff. Check it out. I would really appreciate the love if you could. Also, if you're here, I would also appreciate hit that like button, subscribe to Sewing Report Live. It's going to be all live all the time. We're going to have some fun here. And I'm going to finish up, which is what I meant to do. We just finished top stitching the Noodlehead petal pouch. The info is in the description box. If you'd like to get this pattern, you can. Let me just check everything out. I had to kind of quickly create a new stream here. So hopefully everything looks okay. Let me check the description box, make sure everything is cool. I think we got everything in here. So we're going to finish up these pouches. I'm going to at least make one. Earlier, we made one of the larger ones. This is the large size petal pouch. I got to move my trash can back over here. Hold on a second. I got kind of all out of sorts here because the stream literally just crashed on me and that was really strange. So we're definitely not, I thought day 2 was going to be it. Definitely not the case. There's going to be a day 3 because it's going to take me quite a while longer to finish all this stuff for sure. So we're going to be here. I still have my mic. I've had this on for like three hours, so I think we're still good for a little bit. I think it lasts about 6 hours. So what I hope to do, we just finished top stitching all of these small petal pouch pieces, and I'm going to at least finish one of them so I can have like a set. I might do some other work because I'm trying to make 10. I'm making 5 big ones and then 5 small ones, so I'm going to make 5 sets. That is the plan. Let me get up I'm going to take away my name here. All right, so now the last thing to do is like put this together. So if you have never made a zipper pouch before, let me put on camera. We'll do the picture-in-picture here. So a couple things. You need to make sure to leave an opening in the lining for turning. This is also kind of an awkward shape to sew together because it's got the curved top and a curved bottom. It's going to be a little like straight. It's going to be a little strange feeling, but it'll be okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be really nice. This has a half an inch seam allowance. Sorry guys, I am so congested tonight. I got some other stuff to do too, but I at least want to finish one pouch up. So y'all can see I've been streaming for 8.5 hours now. So you're going to put right sides together for both the lining and the main fabrics. So you're going to put them together. This one's going to be a little tricky. You also want to make sure your zipper is most of the way open. If your zipper is not open a lot, you're not going to be able to turn the project. So that's going to be a bit of a problem. I'm going to do a combination of like glue basting and then clipping to hold this together. So at least if I can get one done tonight, we'll do that. So you're here for the exciting part. We're doing some late night sewing here. And welcome wherever you're watching here. And again, this live stream is sponsored by the Sewing Report Etsy shop. Actually, let me put a link in. All right, we're going to make a link here. Let me just grab one of these. Hold on a second. Guys, I swear, I'm so congested today. I don't know what's going on. I had my over-the-counter allergy meds, so I still need to take a shower later tonight, and then what else do I got to do? I need to take a shower, and then I need to take care of the rabbit. She's been kind of holed up all day, kind of hanging out here. So, all right, let me just add the Sewing Report Etsy shop link in the chat here. Here we go. We're going to make this a pinned comment. Or pinned message, whatever this means. Okay, here we go. My husband's gaming in the other room. I can hear him swearing, which is kind of funny. He's a very, I would say, emotional gamer. I don't know how else you would say it. I don't even know what game he plays. I haven't played video games in years. Oh, and I need to pack an Etsy order. So maybe I can hang out. I can pack the Etsy order with you and I can show you kind of what I do, I guess, while I'm staying on stream here. Okay, so we're going to put these right sides together, but I'm going to mark out. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky because this is a smaller, because this is such a small item, it can be a little hard to sew, to like put these together. So I need to mark out a pretty good size opening for turning. So I'm going to mark mine like here. I am going to glue, actually I can glue baste a lot of this, to be honest with you. I think that would work. I think glue basting will work for here. All right, so what I do, so first of all, I'm obviously not going to be sewing, so I'm not going to be sewing these parts here. So I'm going to, oh, and I am going to trim down my seam allowance a little bit. So I'm going to trim some of this a little bit, just so it's not so bulky. Not like a whole lot, but like a little bit. I'm going to trim this down to about 1/4 inch here. Okay. All right, here. By the way, thank you everyone for watching late at night here. And also let me know what days would you be most interested in watching these live streams. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you're watching later on. I just wanted to pick this up. I don't know why my program crashed, but that was kind of weird. All right, so, and what I do is, I kind of explained this earlier, I like to nest my corner seams, and I like to have one seam allowance going in one direction and the other one going in the other direction to sort of distribute the bulk evenly. And I find that makes it a little easier to do. That's just my personal preference. So I'm going to use some Elmer's washable school glue. I actually just sold the last bottle for this glue. I do have a couple more, so I'll be restocking it in a little bit. But I usually just, I got the iron on. I just need to sort of add a little bit of glue here. And you don't want glue that's, you want the glue to stay within the seam allowance. The seam allowance is 1/2 inch, so make sure, I just got glue on myself. Make sure that you don't go too far with that. All right, and then I'm going to hit this with an iron. Yeah, and okay, yeah, this seam, and you kind of want to nest the seams in each other. And this should give you a really nice point here. Okay, here we go. All right, so we got this little area. Let's do the other corner. So when I'm doing these pouches, I'm going to do the corners first and then work my way to the other areas. And so I'm going to use some clips as well. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to, yeah, so this is going to be where I put the other one. Let me just put some glue here. I know it's a little hard to see, but hopefully you can get the idea. All right, I'm going to add a pretty generous line of glue here. And then just really nest these seams together, but with one seam allowance going in one direction and the other one going in the other direction. So sort of like, there we go. So this is my sort of cheater method here. So you see, this one's going to the left, this one's going to this one's going to, yeah, the right, and then this one's going to, all right, this actually did not hold either, so I need a little bit more glue here. Wonder if the glue is really going to work here. I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. Let's add a little more glue. The other side seems to be okay here. And then we'll use clips for the rest of it. So let's pull this together here. Okay. All right, got this guy, and then I'm just gonna hit this, and this iron is dry, no steam or anything. All right, here we go. Let's see if this worked. Okay, that held a little bit better. All right, and I'll also use glue to sort of baste this area here. That's, oh wait, you know, I might need the clips because this is not, I think this fabric is just too thick or something. I don't know. Yeah, this is not holding that well. Usually I'm able to use the glue, but this is not. All right, we'll just use the clips here. All right, let's just dump some clips out. Here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna clip all these together. All right, clip this together. Yeah, I think the clips might All right, we'll do the clips here, just in case. All right. And even though this area is not going to be sewn, I'll just put a clip here anyways, just so the fabric doesn't like shift around too much. So we're just going to clip all the way around here. Keep all of your edges pretty even. Let me cover up my glue bottle. There we go. Okay, and then do the other corner as well, and make sure that make sure they're kind of pointed in the opposite directions as well, like this. Okay. All right, this seam is sort of coming out, but that's all right. Sort of weird. All right. And the good thing is you have a really generous seam allowance. It's going to be a 1/2 inch, so you should be able to, you should have plenty of leeway here. And I'm just going to clip this. Okay, then clip. See how it makes it easier when you're working from the corners out? And the rest of it, especially since this is the smaller one, the rest of it will just sort of come together, you know. All right, so I'm going to nest these seams as well, add a clip. And I'm glad I trimmed the seam allowance on the main fabric because I think that would be really pretty bulky. Okay. All right, now this part with the zipper, so this part in the middle with the zipper can be a little tricky, but the trick is that you want the zipper teeth pointing away from the main fabric and towards the linings. So I'm going to put a clip here as well, and I want to try to get this, I'm going to try to maneuver it so that this is pretty even. And then I'm going to put a clip here, but this can be a little, this part can be a little hard because this is almost at an angle here too. So I'm going to need to be careful when I sew it. There we go. I'm going to need to be very careful when I sew this. Here we go. Because the teeth should be facing, you want the teeth to be facing away from the outside fabric. Okay, so let's clip here. We'll clip here. So once I do these parts, the other parts are going to be really pretty easy. It's just really getting these first few clips in, especially at the tricky sections, that can be a little hard. And again, the zipper is open. All right, so I've got, yeah, this actually shouldn't be too bad. Okay, I'm going to put another clip here. So again, I'm using lots of these clips here. I was going to use glue and I was going to use tape, but I don't think that would really work. So we're going to do this instead. All right, so now everything, so see how this kind of all nestles in with each other? Like, it all kind of fits, if you see what I mean. All right, let me share my mic. If you're in the chat, let me know if you can hear me okay. I think my mic's still okay. Yeah, I think my mic's fine. All right, so we're going to add a couple more clips here. All right, a couple clips here. And then this is what we're going to get at the end, just a smaller version. Okay, so let's add another clip here, and I'm being pretty generous with the clips. I want there to be enough clips. Okay, here we go. Let me make sure this, yeah, I think this will be all right. Lots of clips here. And if you want to catch up, you can watch the other stream I did today. Okay, so Sundrop says, I can hear you. Okay, good. All right, I was a little... Yeah, the last time I did too, my mic cut out because my battery pack died for the microphone. So that was, but I didn't know for like 20 minutes. So, hey, you know, this is kind of a new thing. So we're gonna learn some lessons, like the battery only lasts for 6 hours. Okay, so this is all clipped. So over at the sewing machine with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, I'm going to start, let's see, I'm going to start around here. Backstitch a lot, go over this area. I'm also going to reinforce the part near the zipper tape, so I usually go over that a couple times, go around, reinforce, and then stop around here, leave an opening for turning, and I'm going to use about a 2.5 inch stitch length. So this shouldn't take too long because this is such a small project. So let's head over to the sewing machine and we'll get this done. All right. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, so I at least want to, I think we can get at least one of these guys done tonight, right? Okay, so I'm going to start, I'm trying to leave myself a really good turning opening. So again, 1/2 inch seam allowance, so that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty far, so that's here. Okay, and then lots of, all right, I'm going to sew forward a little bit, back stitch. All right, yeah, I'm really doing a lot of back stitching because if you don't, the stitches will pop out and that's not really going to be very fun. All right, so let's start sewing. Remove clips as you go. So here are the corners here. And we are going to be trimming the seam allowance so it won't be so bulky. So that'll be a good thing. Okay, we got this guy. And this is sort of a curved shape, so you will have to sort of wrestle with it under the sewing machine. If you have to stop, try to stop with the needle down. That'll be helpful. Okay, let's see. And now I'm going to hold this in place. So I'm actually going to go over this area probably a few times, honestly. All right, so, all right. Let me just backstitch a little bit. Oops, okay. All right, we'll keep stitching. All right, now I'm going to pivot a little bit since this is sort of at an angle here. I'm going to sew a few stitches and then backstitch. So I'm really trying to reinforce this because I feel like this area would have a lot of stress placed on it and it could pop. All right, now keep going. Until you get to the other side, it's going to be fairly easy. All right, keep. And if your fabric kind of shifts, you may have to like hold it a bit. There we go. Okay. All right, make sure your needle is down if you stop. Okay. Well, you know what? I think I did get some stuff on my needle, so I may have to like clean that a little bit. I do have a little bit of gumminess on the needle, but that's okay. Seems to be cleaning out all right. All right, so we'll see. This is actually pretty quick move in here. It's not too slow. All right, needle down. And don't forget, when you get to the other area on the other side, you're going to want to reinforce that a few times. And actually, I'll reinforce this area too with the corner. So you could do that, and that might help as well. Okay. Okay. All right, let me trim my thread real quick, just so it's not in the way. Okay. All right, let's go over this area. All right, so this is going to be a little tricky. All right, so I'm going to reinforce this area too. Let me just lift this presser foot. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Back stitch, forward, then pivot this whole thing, and then keep moving forward. But back stitch a few stitches here. Because this is going to have some stress placed on it, I just want to make sure this is pretty secure here. Okay, needle down. We're actually almost done here too. All right. Okay, I'm going to sew a little bit further. All right, back stitch. And I'm going to do a lot of back stitching here because this is where the stitches could pop pretty easily. All right, pull this out. All right. And actually, I'm going to do one more thing. Right where that other corner is, I'm going to go ahead, because this is the outer fabric, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce this with a few more stitches just to make sure that this also, because this corner will also have some more like stress points, I'm going to go ahead and redo that section here just to be safe. kind of keep moving along here. I'm just going to do this area one more time just to make sure. There we go. And you know what? We'll just go around to the other corner. You don't necessarily have to do that. I just am to be a little, I'm just being a little extra here, but that's all right. All right, and we're good. All right, let's pull this guy out. Okay, just a couple more steps here. Let's go back over to the main sewing area. I just want to show you what one finished pouch looks like so you're not like, all right, we didn't even get through very much today. Okay. All right, here we are. So here's what we have now. So, couple things I do. In order to make things a little easier later, I am going to kind of draw in where I would have stitched. I know this might seem a little strange. I'm going to draw in where I probably would have stitched had I not left the opening for turning. So I'm going to do that. Just nothing like super exact, just sort of like guesstimate. So I'm just going to sort of like try to connect these lines here. There we go. All right, so it's pretty good. I'm going to take my iron and I'm going to press on these lines. So wherever kind of wherever I think this would have gone, I'm just going to press with my iron. And the reason I'm doing this is so when I turn this later, and then you're going to sew this opening shut. So when I sew this opening shut, at least this gives me a pretty good starting point for where I need to tuck the fabric in. Hello, Lynette. I'm not even sure. Is it Lynette Renee? Lynette Reen? I know you were here the other day. Yes, I'm still at it. We're on day 2. There's definitely going to be a day 3. And I've been live since 12:30 this afternoon. So about 9 hours now. Okay. So I'm going to trim the seam allowance with some pinking shears. But here, let me kind of dump some of this out. So I'm going to trim with pinking shears for most of this way, but I'm going to skip. So I'm not going to trim the fabric here because I need this excess fabric to tuck in. Actually, you know what? Let's see here. I feel like these fabrics might be a little thick, so I'm just going to use my serrated scissors instead. We'll just do that. I'm going to trim this down to about 1/4 inch. Yeah, I think for the larger pouch, I can use the pinking shears. This one, it's just, I don't feel like these fabrics are a little thicker. So I'm just going to trim all of this away. So you're going to trim this down a bit. Okay, all right, here we go. But stop. All right. But stop when you get to the turning point because you don't really want to trim. We don't really want to trim that. Okay. All right. Oh, you were here off and on. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for tuning in. All right, and then when we get to this little section where everything kind of meets up, I trimmed a little bit more just because I knew that part is going to be really bulky. So now you've got some trimmed down seam allowance. Let me get my trash can over here. Okay, oops, okay. Okay, something just fell over. We've had some excitement today. We had an ant fall on the table. All right, let me just pick up my BTS coffee here. Here we go. Let's pick this up here. All right, guys, this is a J-Hope, Jimin, and JK here. So we got these guys here. Okay, got the trash can here. I think you could probably, I'll put the trash can here. You might not be able to see it. Yeah, actually, no, you can't. So I should be able to keep it here. Okay. Let me make sure my microphone doesn't look too funky here. Yeah, I'm still at it. So now it's time to turn the project right side out. Be kind of gentle with everything. Don't force it. Go kind of slow. And don't be afraid to, that's my advice. Go, don't rush it. All right, so I have the zipper like about 3/4 of the way open. All right, so I'm just, I'm gonna need the lint roller real bad here too. Ow. Okay, I just hit my knee on something. I also need to, I have the dentist tomorrow, so I need to take a shower and kind of clean up after the rabbit a little bit and do her stuff. All right, so, but I at least wanted to get one of these done just so you could see what they look like, and so I could have some samples for the next live stream when I finish the rest of them. So I need to make 8 more after this. All right, so you're gonna kind of poke everything out. Let's see how my seams turned out too. Because I want, okay, yeah, they line up pretty, they look pretty good, yeah. So you see, you kind of want all four lines to meet up here. And that's how you know you've got like a pretty good seam here. Okay. So we're gonna poke this out. All right, yeah, I don't know why my live stream crashed. That was super weird. All right, so I'm gonna start poking this out. But then I'm gonna pull the lining out and then we're gonna close that. So that's really the last step. Okay, oh, this actually turned out. All right, so the other thing is you really want these 2 sides to match up. You know, sort of like when you're putting in like an invisible zipper and you want everything to be even. This actually looks pretty darn good, especially since honestly, I wasn't super careful with it, I think. But these, I mean, these will definitely be in sellable condition, I think. Okay, this one actually looks pretty good too. It's not super perfect, but it's pretty good. All right, so I'm just gonna sort of poke this out. But the thing I like about this pattern is that the zipper tab and then the other side of the zipper isn't caught up in the side seam, so there's not nearly as much bulk. I think that's one of the nice things about this pattern, honestly. I'm actually gonna take my iron too and press. Maybe I'll do that. I think that'll make it look nicer. I'll press this little area here too. Okay, so I'm just gonna press this here to kind of try to, there we go. Yeah, that looks nicer. Because that part was kind of bulky, but when I pressed it, it actually looks a lot nicer now, honestly. This looks pretty good here. All right. Oh boy. All right, so the last thing you have to do to finish the pouch, and again, the difference too is this one has a tab, so I need to base, maybe to do some prep work over the next couple of days, I'll base those. I am going to do another live stream finishing up all the pouches. Yeah, this one looks pretty nice. Isn't this really cute? It's like just a little baby pouch. I just think it's adorable. All right, so let's close this. Oh, isn't this adorable? And this is a marking pen that'll go away. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. So this is gonna be the set when it's done. I think they really go together. It looks coordinating. You can actually fit this one. Actually, you know, I'll go ahead and press this guy too. So we'll go ahead and I know this is gonna be a little awkward. I'm just gonna sort of try to press the seam down so it's not so bulky here. Let's try that. Hopefully I don't burn myself either. That would be bad. We're just gonna try it. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, yeah, that definitely looks better actually. Okay, I'm glad I did it. You can actually fit this inside here. See, so it's like a little mama pouch and a baby pouch. All right, so let's finish this up though. Yeah, and I still have to make all the big ones. So I have to make 4 more of the big ones too. So far it's been 2 days and I've made 2. I've done a lot of prep work though. So I did all the top stitching and everything. Okay, so let's pull the lining out of this guy, and then, yeah, this does need to be pressed a little bit, quite honestly. There we go. Needs to be pressed a bit. But I think it looks good overall. And I need to pull the lining out now, and then we're gonna close this up. So in order to do that, pull out the lining, kind of poke out the corners here, do whatever you gotta do. Okay, like this. And then you're going to close up this opening, and you know how I already pressed it out earlier? You're going to basically use that, so you can use the same like fold line, and that's what you can use to determine how much you need to close up. So we're going to, okay, basically, and I'm going to use some glue for this for sure. All right, so poke this out, try to press out. So you see how pressing this before I did all this makes this step a lot easier. It's because I already pressed it. I kind of already pre-pressed it. So let me put a bunch of glue in here. I'm going to try to glue base this. The canvas isn't really sticking very well, so we'll see how this goes. I might need some clips. I don't know. But let's see if I can do this. Okay. All right, this piece is kind of, all right. And then I just need to go back to the sewing machine and stitch up this. So stitch a little bit before, like stitch a tiny bit beforehand and then a little bit afterward. Let me see if I can kind of press this, make this a little, there we go, a little easier here. Let's see. Okay. I feel like I need to kind of push this out just a little. Okay, here we go. So I just basically, all right, let me press this again. So I'm going to start a little bit before the, I actually could have made this opening a tiny bit smaller. I might for the next ones. Let me just press this again. So I'm going to start a little bit before the opening and then end a little afterwards, just so it overlaps. So let's go back to the sewing machine and we're going to close this up. All right, and I'm going to do I'll do about a 3 stitch length, something, let's see. Yeah, we'll do about a 3 stitch length. About 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, and then, yeah, that's all we got to do is just really close this up. Okay. All right, and you will want to back stitch at both points so the stitches don't pop. Okay, here we go. Let's back stitch. All right, go forward. I'm gonna try to get situated here too. There we go. I think this is better. Okay, 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, back stitch. All right. Oops, okay. What's going on with the sewing machine? Okay. Trim your threads. Okay. Trim this thread. There's lots of thread trimming today. Yeah, we've been busy over here. We have been busy. Okay, all right. Oh, this got kind of stuck in here too. All right, let's go back to the table here. Let me just trim. All right, I got a little more of a loose thread here. All right. All right, and we have one finished small petal pouch. All right, so the lining is all, here I'll show you. The lining is all sewn. All right, let's bring this a little closer here. Let me take this out. So this is the lining stitched up. So this is a really nice way of finishing up pouches. It's easier than hand sewing, but also it's really not going to be very noticeable on the lining anyways, so it's a pretty good solution and it's easy and there's no hand sewing involved. So now just tuck this back into the pouch. Yeah, and this canvas lining, I think this was a really good choice. It's a little more substantial. The pouch has some structure to it. So I'm really happy with the way, I'm actually really, yeah, this is definitely very sellable condition. I think the quality is good enough and I think it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with it. Okay. All right. Yeah, and I'm just sort of tucking this down into the pouch. But yeah, it kind of has its own structure. This also, so both of these have at least one canvas layer. So there is quite a bit of, a body to it. So it's not real flimsy. I put my labels inside each one. Let's see, so let's zip it up here. Isn't this super cute? So this is the small petal pouch, and then this is the large petal pouch. Aren't these guys super cute? I just love these. So here's what the set will look like. I am planning to list them in the Etsy shop once I finish them and take photos and everything. So I will be doing that. Let me just sort of press this guy out a little bit. Let's see here. And yeah, when I'm done, I always press my projects just so they can look their best. All right, aren't these cute? Okay, so if you have any questions about this project, also if you are just tuning in, you can see more of what happened. I did a day 1 live stream on Sunday, and then today was day 2. So I did 2 live streams today. I did one until about 8 o'clock or 8:30, and then somehow my software crashed, so I had to do set up a whole other one because I wasn't quite done yet. So I have 2. I'm going to be making 8 more. So I have all of the little ones are top stitched already, and they just need to be they really just need to be like clipped and everything like that. So maybe I'll start doing that and hang out for a little bit. The big ones, here's where I'm at with those. I just have all like the pieces. Oh, you know what? I do need to baste on, you know what I will do? I need to baste on the tabs. So I'm doing them. It's about an inch down. Let's see here. Yeah, so about an inch down from there. Yeah, I think something like that. Oh wait, no, they are about, yeah, I did do it about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, yeah, because I have to take into account the interesting thing is I have to take into account the seam allowance. So yeah, because I was like, I know I didn't do an inch. So I'm going to mark about about 3/4 of an inch down for all of these guys. And then I'm gonna go over to this, we'll go over to the sewing machine and we'll try to baste these on. So, and these are all the front pieces. So I got 4 more front pieces. And then I made like basically a long strap and I top stitched it. And I just plan to cut this up and turn these into loops for the pouches. So that's my plan. I think this looks pretty okay. All right, so let's cut. All right, let's, first I'll kind of mark. So I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch. All right, so 3/4 of an inch down for each one. Yeah, here we go. Let's see here, where is this 3/4 of an inch? I think so, okay. So I'm gonna do about 3/4 of an inch down from here. Okay, so about right here. Okay, and then, yeah, so when I go a 1/2 inch in, yeah, this will be interesting. So I think that's why it's about an inch, is because there's going to be a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then, yeah, it'll be more like an inch once everything kind of gets all, yeah, okay. Because, yeah, this ends up being about an inch here. Let me see here. Or did I do a 1/2 inch? I thought I did 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, I think I did 3/4 of an inch. So we'll do that. And then if you get to about a 1/2 inch in, yeah, it'll be about, oh wait, and I need to account for the zipper tab. So yeah, it'll be about, definitely about an inch. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm crazy, guys. Oh wait, you know what though? When did I, you know, actually I think I have to wait because I think I basted this on, I think I put this on after I put the tape on. After I put the zipper on. So I have to wait to baste these. Okay, I can't put those on yet because I put mine on after I'd already done the zipper. All right, so I don't want to screw this up. I don't want to screw this up. Okay, oh, and we got a couple questions here. All right, thank you. These pouches have turned out amazing. I know I've been working really hard on these the last couple days. Thank you very much. All right, these do look nice, thank you. All right, what would you sell them for approximately? So Chris, I did the math. I'm planning on selling this set for $45. I feel like that's still kind of on the high side, but that's like pretty much the minimum I can sell them for and have this somewhat make sense. I did the math. If I spend, it's gonna be over 20 hours. I'm basically making like, probably after everything, like $5 an hour after taxes and everything, if I sell these for $45. I'm not joking. And that's the thing. I feel like that's probably the max people on Etsy will, like, I think that would be even stretching it. But, you know, and that's the thing, like if it's a designer brand, like if it's, like if these were Gucci pouches, I could sell them for, you know, $600, but I'm not Gucci, so I got to sell them for what I can. So I am going to be, all right, oh, there's like a tiny tuck in here, but that's all right. But like, what was I going to say? But that's the thing, like I need to, you know, yeah. When I did the math, and if I sell 5 sets of these, it'll be like 220, I think like $225, something like that. Let me do the math again. Okay, so 45 times 5, so $225 for basically 3 days of work, minus my costs, like the materials, minus Etsy fees, shipping supplies, and so if you minus all that, so let's say I spent $50 in supplies, and let's say fees are like, all right, well actually let's see, so 225, let's say minus 10% for Etsy fees, minus $50 for supplies. So after that, I'm left with $150, $152 for basically like 3 days of work. So let's say it takes me 25 hours to make these, which it probably will at this point. That's $6 per hour, and that's before income taxes. So I am making less than minimum wage to sell these at $45 per set. If you are selling anything on Etsy or at craft fairs or anything, you need to do the math and figure out how much you're making per hour, what your costs are, how much everything is, like your fees, you know, craft fair, booth rental. Because at first I kind of did the math wrong and I thought I was selling 10 sets, but I'm not selling 10 sets. I'm only selling 10, I only have 10 pouches total in 5 sets. So I'm making about $6. If I sell these for $45, which again, I think would be, I don't know how these will sell. I'm just kind of trying this out as an experiment. But if I do sell these at $45, I am making, that's the sad thing, I will be making $6 an hour before taxes. Is that kind of sad? I don't know. That might be a little sad. And I just discovered there's like a tiny, I hope this isn't too, it's really not noticeable. It's like a tiny little tuck here, but it's not like real, I don't think it's too, I think it'll be okay. It's not, it's really not super noticeable. So I'm hoping whoever gets this is somewhat understanding. We'll see. Yeah, so that's, so that must have gotten kind of tucked up in the, it must have sort of gotten, yeah, I don't even know how that got sewn like this because this fabric is interfaced, so I don't know. All right, we got Chronic Crafter here. Hello, hello. And we have, oh, thank you for the heart eyes. So yeah, so I'm doing all of this for about $6 an hour. So please subscribe to Sewing Report Live, everybody. And again, this live stream is sponsored by the Sewing Report Etsy shop. So all support is appreciated because I'm making less than minimum wage selling these pouches. Yeah, so I mean, and $50 for materials might be a little high. Like maybe it's a little bit less. But then I have like shipping supplies and everything like that. So there's a lot that goes into this. So if you're shopping for fabric and sewing supplies, please consider the Sewing Report Etsy shop. I would greatly appreciate it. I would also love for you, if you're not already subscribed to Sewing Report Live, definitely subscribe. We're going to have a lot of fun. I mean, I'm going on hour 9 here on YouTube live streaming because I'm trying to get this channel monetized. So I'm trying to do as much streaming as I can here. So, yeah, all right, would this drive you crazy? It's like super tiny. It's like a tiny little, I don't know how this got like caught up in itself because this fabric, again, is like, this isn't like real, you know, this is pretty this is a pretty substantial fabric. It's interfaced quilting cotton. So I really don't know how that happened. That's pretty bizarre, I guess. I don't know. But it's really not, I hope it's okay. It's not that noticeable, so hopefully it's all right. So this is where we are today. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll start clipping some stuff. I'm gonna hopefully do some prep work also, so I've got more done when you see me the next time. So I've got these pieces here. Wait, is this the top? All right, I had all my tops, and I had ones that I wanted to do for the front and the back. I'm trying to remember which ones they are now. Is this the front one? Let's see here. I think these are the backs. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Are these the fronts? I'm not sure. I had some picked out I wanted as the front and the back. Let's see here. All right, I think these are the backs. Yeah, okay, so these are going to be the backs, because I wanted the fronts to have the ones with the where more strawberries were face up. So this will be a front. This one has some strawberries face up. This fabric, this pattern orientation was honestly kind of strange. This one has quite a few strawberries up, so I think that's fine. And then this one has a lot. Okay, so these are the fronts, these are the backs. This is going to be the lining for the big ones. This aqua fabric. And I did kind of, as prep work, I already sewed on all of the Handmade by Sewing Report labels. But so far, yeah, I think these look pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with them. So with these guys, I just top stitched these. So I need to, all right, is this zipper, okay. So this zipper is already fairly open. So I need to go around and clip everything. Here, we'll start doing that. I'm probably gonna jump off fairly soon because I need to do some other stuff, but we'll stick around for a little bit and hang out. All right, so it kind of helps to sort of make this into sort of like a bowl shape. Oh wait, and I need to, wait, no. I'm gonna trim this seam allowance a little bit on the, on the main fabric, just so it's a little bit less bulky here. So we're gonna trim this a little bit. Yeah, we'll get some stuff done. Wow, this is taking forever. Yeah, so if I sell these for $45 and I sell all 5 sets, I will have made $225. And yeah, so my plan is to start doing some little drops of handmade items, but I'm only going to be doing like limited amounts of each one, and I'm not doing any like special custom orders or anything like that. So it's going to be one of those things where, you know, if you like these items, buy them, but I'm not going to let people pick their own fabric or anything. That's just I think that's way too complicated. So I'm going to basically be curating the fabrics myself and then doing small limited productions of certain items in certain fabrics. But people will not be able to like pick out the fabrics or anything like that. I'm not up for that. So it's like, if you like it, you like it. If not, that's fine. All right, so I'm not going to sew about here. All right, I gotta have the turning opening here. So we'll do an opening for turning. All right, and I kind of explained a little earlier, when I do these pouches, I always start with the corners because that's easy to line up these seams, and then I nest the seams. So I have one seam allowance going in one direction and then the other one going in the other direction, and then they kind of nest together. So they kind of nest. So I start off there, and the clips I think are gonna be the easiest thing to do. So we're gonna do clips. Let me just poke these out. Also, these little sections here, they kind of look like weird, like bra tops right now, just the way they're sitting, which is kind of odd. All right, so let's get these together. All right. And I'm gonna clip each corner. And then you also want this section at where everything meets up. The zipper tape should be facing the lining. So it should be facing the way you want when the pouch is complete, which is away. So you kind of want, so this is the zipper here, and you want the zipper to be pointed up. So that's how you want things to be when you clip everything. All right, so let me do this corner over here. Actually, yeah, we'll do the sides. Okay, we'll do the sides here. So again, zipper teeth pointed to the lining here. And I want everything to kind of line up. So I want to try to get my fabrics as matched. Like, there's kind of 4 things intersecting here, and you do want all of them to sort of be lined up with each other. Okay. And this can be a little tricky, I'm not gonna lie. All right, there we go. It's about here. Put another clip in it. Okay. Yeah, and this, you may have to redo this a time or two until you get it exactly the way you want. Okay, so this is pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to do the corner here. And again, one seam allowance facing one direction and then the other facing the other direction. Okay, so, and they should like really fit, like this all nests together. So that's what you want here. So I got these 2 corners done. All right, I'm going to do this side area here. So you want these really matching up here. Okay. All right. This isn't so bad. This is taking forever though. Like, this is taking way longer. This whole thing is taking way longer than I thought it was going to take. So that's been sort of interesting. Used a lot of clips here. Maybe I'll make like 2 at a time from this stage, because I only have so many clips too. All right, this side is pretty easy to line up because the fabric is fairly substantial. Put a clip here. Okay, put a clip in the other corner. And then kind of work your way to the other areas once you get all the corners finished. But you see how everything really nests together nicely when you put the seam allowances facing opposite directions. Okay. Put more clips in here. Yeah, use a lot. You're going to need a lot of clips here. Okay, this clip is broken. Oh, every once in a while the clips just like break. Like, so, all right. And I have both name brand Wonder clips and I have the generic ones. They're pretty similar, so you don't really need to spring the money for the official ones. The ones from Amazon are really cheap, so you can go that route. And I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, I agree with you. I think you should pick the fabric, make the item, and sell them in your shop. We have to see how it goes. Exactly, that's the thing. I respect the shops where they let people, like pick out a number of different fabrics and everything's made to order. But for me, that's not going to work. I'm just going to basically make stuff I like, and then if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm not going to be doing those things where you can pick all of your customization options and stuff. I just think for me that's way too much. Like, I have to batch sew to make this even somewhat worth it. So that's what I got to do. All right, we got this guy. All right, and even though I'm not sewing this section over here for turning, I still will put a clip on it just to keep it from shifting around too much. All right, put some more clips in here. All right, put a clip here. Okay. Couple more clips. Yeah, I don't know how, I'm a little bit bummed that this one has like it's not really noticeable. It's just a super tiny, like, can you see this? It's like a super tiny, like little tuck in here. And it's, what do you think? Like, do you think that's a big deal? It's barely noticeable, like for real. I'll try to move it closer to the camera. So it's literally right here. Let me know if you think that's a deal breaker or if you think that's totally acceptable for something I'm selling. I don't even know how that happened, and I usually catch stuff like that. I'm usually pretty careful about seeing those types of things and then redoing them, but for some reason I just didn't really see that. I'm not really sure why either. So I can't really I'm not, like, I would have to really pick apart a lot of stuff to redo it. I mean, I could always make another one, although I don't have any. The only thing is I only have, I'm not sure if I have enough zippers. I'd have to check. So I could technically make another one if you think this is like totally terrible, but you can see it's like it's right here. But I can kind of press it out, and it's not, like, it's super tiny and it's very close to the seam, and I can kind of press it out. Hopefully people would understand. Again, this is a handmade item. This is not like a factory or anything. But I don't know. Let me know if that would bother you if you were buying this item. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to keep clipping. I'll clip a few of these. So we'll kind of get a few of these ready to sew tonight. I got to sign off fairly soon because I got to do some other stuff. Okay, so here's this. So yeah, it kind of looks like a little bowl, and you're basically going to be sewing all the way around. I did this a little earlier in the stream, so if you'd like to see this part of the process, you certainly can. And you can also watch all like other 18 hours of the stream if you really want to get in depth on what I'm doing. All right, so let's, all right. So we'll try to focus on this guy. I'm going to cut a few of these seam allowances down. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I basted this loop on after, it was after I'd already put the piece on, I'd already attached it to the zipper, and I think I did 3/4 of an inch. I'm pretty sure. So let me take a look at this piece, and so this would be about, let's see here. All right, so it would be about, all right, so let's say this ends up being like 3/8 of an inch in for the zipper. All right, so I'm kind of trying to like figure out where the zipper, how much of a seam allowance for the zipper. All right, and then from here it would be, let's see, 3/4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did 3/4 of an inch. I think that's what I did. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, so 3/4 of an inch. I'm trying to figure out if this would have the same, drop as the other one, is what I'm saying. Okay. So be about here. Okay. Let's see here. So this would be about, okay, so this would be about where it would start. Let me get my ruler out again. Okay, so this would be about, okay, actually that's about good, yeah. So it's about 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to baste these loops onto the front of the bigger pouches after I put them on the zipper. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to work this out in like real time and everything. I don't know if this is working out good. I'm not really sure. All right, we're gonna clip another one of these guys. All right, so I'm gonna try to, all right, so clip these seam allowances. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to do too much cutting today because my hand is still sore from the other day from cutting all of those pieces out. So, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I have to wonder, like, is it worth it for like $6 an hour? I mean, I'm sure there is easier money to be had, that's for sure. There's got to be easier money. Like, no doubt about it. Okay. Got to be easier money for sure. Okay. Get these cut a little bit. All right. All right, so we're going to fold this into each other like this. Kind of scoop it out. It's going to look a little bit like a bowl here. And then I think for this one I'll start with the sides. So we'll do that. Start with the sides here, see how that goes. I don't know. Okay. Try to make a few of these. And if you missed it earlier, I used leather tape to baste the fabric to the zipper tape, and it did work really well. So I used this tape from Serrated that I got years ago, and this is very sticky, so this was great. I tried some other basting tapes earlier in the day, and the other ones just were not good at all. But the Serrated, you do have to be careful because you don't want it to, I had to make sure to sew at the seam larger than the tape so that the tape didn't get stuck in the needle or anything like that. So that was a little bit tricky. Actually, I'll start with this side since this side already has the tape on it. Okay, so, all right, we're gonna put this together. Okay, this will work. Let's put some clips in here. Okay. All right, this is always kind of a pain in the butt to like line up correctly. Ah, come on now. I always really try to get these side parts where everything meets. Okay, and this clip is broken too. Some of my Wonder clips are really old, and after a while they do kind of break, so you just have to get new ones. All right, okay. This looks pretty good, but that's okay. Okay, I think this looks all right. Hopefully, let's get the other side here. All right, thank you, Krabby Dragon. Does both little purses look wonderful? Okay, I can't see the fault. Okay, that's good. I think the fault is like super, like subtle. So hopefully, and it's really, it's just like a little tuck in the fabric. So hopefully it's not, anything somebody complains about. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to align these guys up here. Okay, this is kind of hard. You really have to like hold this together. And I'm going to put a clip. I gotta make sure this is like really lined up here. Okay, I think this is pretty good. I'm gonna hold this. Really hold this guy down. Okay, hopefully this is good. Get some of the corners. All right, I'm gonna nestle these seams together. Clip it. Okay. What is going on with this? All right, this part's, let's see if I can get this to line up a little bit better. Okay, I think this is all right. Ah. Okay. some clips in here. All right, we're gonna finish this one up, just clipping it, and then I think we're gonna call it a night pretty soon. I've been streaming since 12:30 this afternoon, so it's been kind of a day. My husband's like, "What is going on here?" Let's see here. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are just gonna clip a few more of these sections here. Okay. All right. All right, so we have 2 of these ready to go. So I've got petal pouches in various states of completion here. So we've got like a couple that are clipped and ready to be sewn. I've got 2 more that are ready to be clipped. And then I have all these pieces for the large pouches. So it's kind of a disaster here, but it'll be okay. I might try to make a couple of these to prep for next time. I also need to have like I need to take some photos of these, obviously, for the Etsy listings, and maybe I'll use these for the thumbnails of the next live stream when I am still sewing these. Let's see, so I've been working on this for 9.5 hours today. Let's see how long I've been working on this project for. So it's been 9.5 hours today, plus 8. Okay, oh boy. So 9.5 plus 8. So I've been working on this for 17.5 hours so far, and I'm not really even close to being done. I've literally made 2. So I have, again, a lot of the others in like various stages of preparation, but yeah. So if I can make these in 25 hours, which I don't even think, this is probably going to take me closer to 30 hours if I'm being totally honest. All right, so let's see, I'm at 30 hours. So if I sell these for $225 gross sales minus, let's see, so $225, let's say minus, I'll say $40 for supplies and like shipping stuff, minus, so it's $225 minus like 10% for like Etsy fees and payment processing stuff, minus $40 for supplies and shipping materials, let's say that. So that's $162.50. Let's divide that by 30 hours. That's going to be $5.41 per hour if I make and sell 5 sets of these. So what do you think about that wage? Is that good? And that's if I sell these for $45, which in my opinion is on the higher side. So the math on this really isn't checking out. I kind of mentioned the other day, I'm okay with math. I've definitely made a lot of math mistakes even during this project. So do you think $5, and also that's before taxes. So $5.41, like let's say minus 20% for taxes. So I'm actually making $4 an hour after taxes if I sell these. So yeah, selling handmade stuff can be a little tricky with you really have to price these well, or I have to be able to make these really fast. And clearly, like, this has been an interesting experiment, but clearly I'm not very fast at this because it's going to take me about 30 hours to make all of these from start to finish. Now I know I am doing a live stream and like chatting and everything, so I'm not like going super, but I'm not fast anyways. That's the whole thing. So what do you think about those prices and that hourly wage for me? Maybe I'll end up doing a video on it too, on like how much I actually end up making on Etsy if I make and sell these. But that's the thing, I feel like I would have a hard time selling these for over $50. I think 45 is probably like, oh, and also, you know what, the other thing is I have free shipping over $35. So yeah, I might need to price these. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't even know if people would buy these at a higher price. So I feel like $50 would be pretty maxed out. What do you think about those prices? Do you feel like Etsy customers would be, like, what do you think is the price ceiling for items like this, honestly? For a large pouch and a small pouch as a set, they would get free shipping, because yeah, everything in the shop is free shipping over $35. The shipping wouldn't be the shipping would be about, these are pretty light items, so the shipping would probably be about $4 for these. So $4 to ship for free. Yeah, I don't know. So, man, but that's the thing. I also have to keep in mind, I'm not making these very fast either. So if I could make these in half the time, it would more make sense. But right now I could walk to McDonald's and make 3 times the money, you know. Although, you know, I'm at home and I'm hanging out, so I have other purposes for doing this. But, you know, what do you think? Yeah, and this tuck, again, I don't think it's a huge deal, but it's definitely kind of, and it's, you know what, the other good thing is it is at least on the back of the pouch. So it's at least on the back, I guess. So that's good, right? Yeah, that's good. Anyways, I think I'm probably going to sign off for the evening and ship the Etsy order I've got, and then I gotta clean out my rabbit's space and take a shower because I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the week, and also let me know in the comments what day would you be interested, what other weekday would you be interested in tuning in live to see me finishing these things. Let me know, because I'm trying to figure out what day would be best for that. So let me know in the chat or in the comments what you think. Anyways, I am Jen with the Sewing Report, and this is, yeah, Scrappy Dragon says free shipping could be a draw. This is great. Yeah, this is such a weird, isn't this so weird? I really thought I was going to be making more per hour, but I also thought I was going to be finishing these much faster. So that's like the weird, that's definitely the weird thing for me. So, anyways, that's where we are. I'm making like $4 an hour, literally making like I'm literally making $4 an hour, and that's a little depressing. I think after I do this, I'm going to do a dedicated video for the main channel on how much money I actually made doing this. But you know what, here's the other thing. I think I also need to do this a few more times and try to maybe figure out which item, you know, because that's the thing. My super simple everyday pouch pattern that I came up with, I could make those a lot faster. And I think those would sell just as well. I don't think, so if you take a look at these versus the super simple everyday pouch, I don't think the average person understands these are more difficult to make. I think they would see these as about the same level of complexity, not realizing that putting in a zipper on the curve is just a lot more difficult. So I could probably sell the super simple everyday pouches for close to the same price, and I think they would be a lot faster to make. So I think I just kind of picked the wrong pattern for something to sell, but this is good to know because it's taken me so long it's just taken me such a long time to do all of these things. So that's been sort of the main issue here, you know what I'm saying? So what does everybody think about those prices? And also what weekdays are most convenient for you to tune in live? So that's where we're at now with this whole Etsy handmade experiment. I think these items are turning out cute, but when I do the math, I am making well under minimum wage to do this. So yeah, I don't know. Here we are. Yeah, I cannot believe it's like this little money. So I did the math, and after taxes, I'm probably going to make about $4 an hour making and selling these, because they're going to take me about 30 hours to make 5 sets of 2 pouches. So to make 10 of these pouches, it's going to take me 30 hours. And that's the thing, like the small pouches, here's the other thing, the small pouches take almost the same amount of time as the big ones. So I'm not really saving much time by making the smaller pouches. I just thought it would be cute as a set, but I think I need to rethink this stuff. And I think the everyday pouch that I developed would be a much better product to sell, not because of the materials, but because of the time it takes to make it. So yeah, if you are selling something to make, if you are making stuff to sell, I would do the same thing, calculate how much time it takes you. And also that doesn't even count like the material, like that doesn't really count like the wear and tear on my sewing machine, my cutting mats, my rotary blade, all that. So I'm really making like hardly any money. I mean, the good thing is I am destashing. Like it's kind of a good way to destash my fabric, I guess, by making stuff to sell. But like this is just not, like people are, I think it's kind of hard to make a lucrative living on Etsy selling handmade things unless you get something with a very high profit margin with a very low time investment. So that is really important. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's live stream and this afternoon's live stream. But I'm going to be signing off because I have some responsibilities I need to take care of, and I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. So I hope everybody is well, and I will see you again in the next live stream. Anyways, I'm Jen with the Sewing Report, and remember, whatever you're doing, make it fun.